And so what we wanted to do was see if you could identify...
I'm going to need my glasses, aren't I?
These skulls of birds of prey.
Okay.
Now, these are 3D printed models sent in kindly to us from the Hawk Conservancy Trust.
Okay.
Thank you very much. They are stunning. So, just by looking at their skulls, what do you reckon they are?
Okay, well...
Let's start with this one.
Oh, okay, they're going to start with the big one.
Yeah.
Are these UK species?
All UK species, yeah.
Okay.
On brand.
Okay,
on brand.
on brand. Okay, I can pick them up because they're 3D printed. This is huge, and it's got a massive bill there, the sort of bill that would be used for tearing open carcasses on the beach. So I'm going to go for white-tailed eagle for this one on account of the breadth of that bill and the size of the bird.
Very good, Chris. Yes, that is. It's the white-tailed eagle. Now, as you were talking about earlier, they are huge birds, not just the largest bird of prey in the UK, the largest bird of prey in Europe, aren't they? They're massive.
Indeed, and when you see them flying around, and I mean, everyone in the UK should be looking up at this point, because they've been reintroduced here to the south of England, and they do wander widely. As Yolo was explaining tonight, they go on these little trips, they go all over the place. I've actually seen them from my garden. That's not uncommon in the south of England now. People have seen them on the streets of London. I met someone the other day who was standing outside the House of Commons.
No, stop it.
The most interesting thing he saw was a white-tailed eagle, and that's possible, so we should be gazing upwards. You can't mistake them as well, they're just massive.
We've had some turn up in Cornwall as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, I've been wandering down to the West Country. You've had a lot of kites down there as well,
We had quite a few kites. We did have our first successful kite nest in over 200 years. This was a couple of years ago. I did try and find out where it was. They didn't tell me. They knew I'd go and stalk it with my camera. That's the problem.
OK. Next up.
What about this one, then?
OK, glasses on. OK, so this is another raptor. It's got quite a big eye, quite a sharp but short bill. I don't know. This one's a bit more tricky. I'm going to probably go Buzzard for that one. I'm going to go Buzzard. It could be goshawk, but I don't know. I've never seen a goshawk skull.
Very good.
Buzzard.
Yeah,
okay.
Correct.
OK, good.
2 out of 4, Chris.
OK, it's going well at the moment.
2 out of 4. I mean, anything could happen. Now, as you can see, they're getting smaller. What about this one?
OK, well, this one I do know because it's a very characteristic shape. So basically, it's got quite a small brain at the back. It's got quite large eyes in here, and it's got this long, long beak that comes down here. We've seen these tonight. This is the skull of a barn owl.
Correct.
Yeah, very, very characteristic, the skull of the barn owl.
Correct. Now, of course, barn owls are known for their excellent low light vision. However, it's their ability to be able to hunt with sound alone that really sets them apart, isn't it? And one of their ears is, in fact, higher than the other. And it's the left one that they use to listen to sound below, isn't it? And the right one they use to listen to sound above.
Yeah, it's the discrepancy between the two sounds, and even that tiny distance on the side of the owl's head, that's enough for them to be able to sense precisely, as we do with our stereoscopic vision judging distances. They can use that to judge distance just using sound. And in fact, years ago, some Americans did some experiments where they put barn owls in completely dark rooms, rendering therefore them effectively blind. They released live mice into those rooms. Not quite ethical any longer, but that's what they did then. And they found that 9 out of 10 times the owls could catch the mice in total darkness just using their hearing.
That's incredible. But do you know what? I assumed that you would be able to see the difference here, that one would be higher than the other. But I don't know if I'm just not looking at it right. What do you reckon?
No. I mean, I think that what happens is that the ear structure is on the outside, and what you'd be looking at is the entrance of the auditory nerve. I mean, with respect to the Hawk Conservancy, these are not the best 3D printed skulls.
Thank you very much.
Well, I don't mean to be insulting. I don't mean to be insulting, but if it were a real skull, you'd be able to see the entrance of the auditory nerve, which is huge. I mean, they've got massive optic nerve bundles that go in, and also large auditory nerve bundles. And in proportion to their body size, I mean, they're much, much bigger than ours.
Very good. And what do you reckon about this?
God,
do you know what? I must just say, right, these are all UK birds of prey. Just look at the size difference. Pop that down. Pop that down.
Okay, yeah.
Just look at that. And they're all birds of prey in the UK. Isn't it? The sizes...
Well, look at this one. Would fit inside the eye orbit of this one. You know, so that's what we're looking at. This is a much, much smaller bird. I think this is not an owl on account of the top of the skull here. It's a small falcon. It's not a sparrowhawk. I've seen sparrowhawk skulls. I'm going Kestrel or hobby with that one. Kestrel. Let's go Kestrel because they're more common. They're more likely to get a cast of a Kestrel than a hobby.
You've got 4 out of 4 right, Chris. To be honest, I didn't expect anything less. But yes, that is a Kestrel. But just the size of it, look. Now, I personally think Kestrels, I mean, all birds have amazing adaptations, right? Kestrels are superheroes. They've got just amazing abilities. The fact that they can hold their head and body completely still when they're hovering, just the occasional bob. And the fact that they can see in UV light as well and follow the vole trail, the urine trails. Incredible.
Who doesn't like following a urine trail of an evening after you've been to the pub?
Well, we will
Quite
after
easy
this.
in some places.